Right from the start of the 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix, Oscar Piastri showed why he is one of the brightest stars of the season. Starting from pole position, he dominated the opening stages and showed no mercy. He didn't give anyone a chance, especially George Russell, who was full of momentum with Mercedes. Lando Norris also had a brilliant start, quickly moving up from 6th to 3rd, pushing McLaren to a dominant position early in the race. On the other hand, Charles Leclerc decided to follow a different strategy, opting for medium tyres to try and manage the race with more resistance during the initial stint. While this strategy seemed promising, McLaren's pace was on another level. The biggest shock of the race came when Max Verstappen, the reigning world champion, was off the pace and fell to 8th position early on. He was stuck between Antonelli and Hamilton, while Yuki Tsunoda completed the top 10. The race was already showing signs of drama, with Norris under investigation for a possible grid infringement, which was pointed out by Verstappen over the radio. Meanwhile, Hamilton was complaining about the grip on his medium tyres, betting that Ferrari's strategy would pay off later in the race. Up front, Piastri was pulling away with a 2.5-second lead over Russell, while all the action was unfolding behind him. The tension increased when Norris was handed a 5-second penalty for the earlier grid issue. Even so, Norris was given the task of passing Russell and making up lost time. This set the stage for a Bahrain GP filled with twists, confusion in the pit stops and some troubling issues for Red Bull. But if you thought the chaos would stop there, think again. The race took another turn on lap 11, when both Norris and Verstappen came in for their pit stops. Norris, who already knew about his penalty, had to wait 5 seconds before the mechanics could fit his medium tyres. Verstappen, on the other hand, took a big gamble and opted for hard tyres, hoping to stretch his stint. But that's when things started to unravel for Red Bull. The garage light didn't turn off on time, delaying Verstappen's pit stop, which led to him venting his frustration. Over the radio, "This is unbelievable." To make matters worse, Tsunoda suffered a similar fate minutes later. Russell pitted on lap 14 for his medium tyres, trying to protect himself from Norris's undercut. Piastri, being smart, pitted right after and emerged safely ahead. Meanwhile, Ferrari's strategy was quickly turning into chaos. Leclerc had requested to go with Plan D, but the team insisted on sticking to Plan B and brought both him and Hamilton in together, leading to a bit of a bottleneck in the pit lane. Despite this, Leclerc came out in 5th and quickly passed Gasly. Hamilton, after some struggle, passed Tsunoda. Verstappen, on the other hand, was not finding any speed with the hard tyres. Things only got worse for the Dutchman, as Antonelli passed him, and Verstappen was complaining about overheating brakes, tyres, and even the cockpit itself. Hamilton, with better pace, quickly caught Verstappen and passed him with ease, while Verstappen's radio messages continued to reflect his frustration. "I can't even brake properly," he said. It was a complete disaster for Red Bull. While McLaren enjoyed a flawless performance up front, things continued to spiral for Red Bull. On lap 30, the safety car was deployed after a collision between Tsunoda and Sainz at turn 1, leaving debris scattered on the track. To add to the chaos, Leon also tangled with Stroll at another point on the track and received a 5-second penalty. This led to a series of pit stops, with everyone opting for different tyre compounds. Piastri took the medium tyres, Russell went for softs, and Leclerc took a risk with hard tyres. Verstappen, unlike the others, stayed out on track to gain positions, but his radio clearly indicated that he thought the others would have much better grip due to their fresh tyres. At the restart, Piastri held onto his lead with no problems, but all eyes turned to the battle between Norris and Hamilton, both of whom were now pressuring Leclerc for a spot on the podium. Hamilton complained that Norris had overtaken him off the track, and McLaren, in order to avoid any further confusion, instructed their driver to give the position back. Norris complied, but immediately regained the position, showing the strength and superiority of McLaren's car. Meanwhile, Verstappen was struggling to keep up with the pack, while Russell was dealing with intermittent DRS failures and potential issues with his steering wheel, but still managed to hold on to second place. As the race neared its final stages, tyre wear began to play a key role in determining the outcome. Ferrari was hoping that Leclerc's hard tyres would give him the necessary endurance, while McLaren was watching Norris closely as he attacked for positions. The tension in the race continued to build. George Russell started experiencing significant issues with his car. His DRS was malfunctioning intermittently, and his steering wheel was threatening to fail completely. The team tried to reassure him over the radio, but Russell responded sarcastically, saying, "As long as the steering wheel doesn't fly off like Alonso's." Meanwhile, Norris was eyeing a golden opportunity to make up some ground, but Leclerc wasn't making it easy for him. On lap 49, Norris tried to make a move on Leclerc in turn 4, but the Monegasque driver pushed him off the track. McLaren complained, but the race stewards deemed it a racing incident. Norris came back strong on the following lap and completed the pass. He still had the mission of overtaking Russell, who was holding second place despite all his issues. Meanwhile, Sainz received a 10-second penalty for a risky maneuver on Antonelli. To make matters worse, his car suffered damage to the side pod, forcing Ferrari to retire him from the race. On the other hand, Hamilton was making good progress, taking advantage of the chaos around him to close in on Russell. Verstappen, despite fresh medium tyres, couldn't seem to find any rhythm. The race had turned into a tactical war between tyre compounds and wear, where each